Thank you very much, Honorable Kushalobin.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. I see that we've got passionate debates on this bill on both sides of the House. And as lawyers, we are passionate to listen to debates from both sides of the House because we've got maybe different school of thoughts. One for the creation of divisions of the Supreme Court. On this side, we are much for the creation of specialized court. This is what democracy is all about. This is what this House is all about. This is why we are here to debate. And we should ponder on the real objective of this bill. What is the real objective of this bill? Why this bill is being brought to this House? Why we are debating at this very late hour? The Honourable Minister of Good Governance and Financial Services have brought earlier on the previous bill to combat money laundering. And we are all aware in what situation we are if we do not bring along bills that will satisfy stakeholders that have put us on a blacklist. And the bill that was presented by the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister earlier on, the real estate bill, goes in the same vein as this bill we are debating. This is the real objective of this bill. And as per the explanatory memorandum, the main object of the Court's amendment bill is firstly to ensure that financial crime cases are dealt with expeditiously in order to comply with international best practices and norms of the Financial Action Task Force with the proposed setting up of a financial crime divisions within the Supreme Court and the Intermediate Court respectively. Secondly, with the setting up of a land division of the Supreme Court as main objective to facilitate the just, expeditious and accessible resolution of land disputes. And thirdly, to enable the Chief Justice to set up within the Supreme Court and the Intermediate Court such other divisions as he thinks fit for the dispatch of civil business and criminal business. Let me, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, from the very outset express that I am of the humble view that the Honourable Attorney General has, to all intents and purposes, brought this bill to this House with all good intentions and to send the right signals, most specifically to the Financial Action Task Force. However, I must say that this bill, as it is, will not, unfortunately, meet its objectives, and I say so for the following reasons. Creating divisions of the Supreme Court will not bring major changes in the way cases will be heard or lodged before those divisions. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as a lawyer, all my lawyer friends here, we all know we will be having the same pre-trial procedures. Same procedures will apply. The same procedures will apply to lodge those cases. The same procedures will apply when the case will be called for mention. There will be exchange of particulars. There will be demand of particulars. There will be demand of further and better particulars, and so on and so on. And the cases will be heard on their own merits when it shall be in shape. And it will take the time that it will take to be then heard and a judgment delivered. This is not the objective of this bill. The objective of this bill is to expeditiously forward matters with regards to financial crimes and solve land disputes. And make no mistake, the setting up of those divisions will not in any way resolve the complex issues involved in cases involving land disputes and in cases with regard to financial crimes. We are witnessing it every day in practice, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, when we go before the commercial division, for example, when we go before the family division, for example. These are vivid examples that divisions from the Supreme Court, if you do not have proper pre-trial procedures, it will not bring much change to the system. It will be the same. The investigative body will inquire. It will take the time that it will take. I will take the famous Buscalis case, for example. It has taken more than 5 to 6 years for this case to be heard. It will not be a new process when you will have a division before the intermediate court. You will have the same magistrate. These are no specialized magistrate. You will have same dedicated magistrate. They will have their say for 2, 3, 4 years, and they will move to another division. You will have the same case in the financial division, crime division of the Supreme Court. It will be the same. Again, it will be the same. What I'm proposing, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, in my humble view, instead of coming at regular interval with piecemeal legislation in reaction to events, a substantive legislation ought to be brought to this House with the creation of a land court on the one hand and the creation of a financial crime court on the other hand. This should have been the objective of a bill before the House, and I humbly suggest that reasons for creating specialized courts can promote greater efficiency, often through streamlined procedures. We know it's very burdensome. Our court procedures are very burdensome. In England, for example, they've moved on. They've got the white books, and all the procedures are listed enough. It's like a checklist, and you go through it. For us, we are still with all those very old procedures of proceeding before the courts. And I commend the Attorney General for this piece of legislation, but I want him to go a step further. A step further is to come before this House with a very elaborate bill to set up those courts, because it is high time in our justice system to move ahead. Lord Mackay of Clashfern made loads of recommendations. We've taken some, we've implemented some, but we've got a long way to go. I will say, why not also debate in the near future for the establishment not of a division, but of a maritime and admiralty court? Because those cases that you are saying, it will happen again and again. And why not also, instead of a constitutional division that we need to have, we have a constitutional court. We are a constitutional democracy. So my argument is, instead of bringing those small piece of legislation with amendments, come with proper legislation. We debate in the national interest of this country. And with regards to the creation of the financial crime division, again, I will urge the Honourable Minister of Good Governance and Financial Services. This should go hand in hand with the creation of the Financial Crime Commission. You need to have specialized bodies to investigate first. If at the level of investigations, things are not done in the right way, you have a financial crime court or financial crime division. It will serve no purpose. These are very technical offenses, and white-collar crimes around the world are getting more and more specialized. That is why you need specialized court. You need people with specific areas of specialization to run this court. So I will again suggest that you should take that into consideration. Government should, with utmost importance, come with proper legislation in this Parliament on this score. And with regards to the land division being proposed, I am of the view that we should instead go along with what Honourable Utim is canvassing. The Law Reform Commission has made recommendations to go ahead like they did in Kenya with the setting up of a land court. And they have elaborated it in the recommendations of the Law Reform Commission. And we should not take it lightly what the Law Reform Commission has been saying. And I would, for the sake of this House, take some time to list those people who sit in the Law Reform Commission. You've got, as the chairperson, Mr. Ramdewar. He's a senior attorney. You've got as chief executive officer, Mr. Rosario Domingue, an experienced lawyer. You've got the Honorable Judge Kamsing. You've got a senior member from the Attorney General's office, Mr. Ritu. You've got the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Satyajit Bulel, Senior Counsel. You've got the President of the Bar Council, Mrs. Nargis Bundan, Counsel. You've got Attorney Gilbert Noel. You've got Notary Wendy Sominaden. And you've got Mr. Norsingen, a law academic, and Mr. Bernard Marie, who is also a lawyer. So we should not take we should not take this report lightly. We should debate on it. We should ponder on it, because there are loads of people that have suffered injustice and that they have no hope of gaining back their lands. And those who have been dispossessed of their properties over many years in some cases will not get justice with the creation of the land division, with the same pre-trial procedures, with the same procedures that you will use to try those cases. So I humbly reflect on and ask the Honorable Attorney General to take into account, it is not a matter of doing politics. We are not at all point in time doing petty politics on it. The creation of those specialized courts is being done in many, many countries around the world. And we should depart from this practice of going with a stereotyped society. It's time that we all in this house, we get committed and we come forward for the sake of our country, moving towards a better future, having those specialized courts in place. I will not be long. I thank you for your attention, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much.